Previously, in our study of learning to forgive, we looked at what forgiveness is not. In this second installment, we want to focus on what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is canceling a debt. It's saying, "You owe me, but I've chosen not to collect. Not now, not ever." It's discharging an offender from his or her obligation to you. Let's push a little bit deeper into our understanding of what forgiveness means. Forgiveness means letting go of bitterness. Someone has said that bitterness is a poison that you swallow while waiting for the other person to die. Bitterness harms you. It destroys your health and happiness. The only antidote to bitterness is forgiveness. It's the only thing that works. It counteracts the effects of this poison on your soul. When you've been hurt or betrayed, bitterness is understandable. Not only is bitterness understandable, but it's also natural. However, bitterness produces no good, and the one who pays the highest price for your bitterness is you. Bitterness diminishes you as a person. It ruins your relationships and robs you of the capacity of truly enjoying life. None of the typical approaches to bitterness effectively resolves it. Revenge doesn't resolve bitterness. Time doesn't resolve bitterness. Think of an infected wound or an abscessed tooth. Time doesn't eliminate the infection, it only worsens it. Let it go long enough and it may become fatal. Revenge doesn't resolve bitterness. Time doesn't resolve bitterness. And justice, even though sometimes it's not merely permitted but required, doesn't resolve bitterness. Forgiveness is the only resolution for bitterness. It's the only thing that works. There's a way to find freedom from bitterness. You had no choice about being victimized. You had no choice about feeling bitterness. But you can choose how to live the rest of your life. No one has to remain a bitter person. No one. You can find freedom from bitterness. Besides letting go of bitterness, forgiveness means refusing to obsess about what happened. When you've been hurt, it's natural to think about what has happened, but it becomes maddening to obsess over it. Forgiveness ends the obsession. Maybe not immediately, maybe not all at once, but forgiveness does work. It's the only thing that brings you peace. Additionally, forgiveness means entrusting justice to God or the civil authorities. Seeking justice is a good thing and is not incompatible with forgiveness. However, seeking justice must be done the right way. Justice is not revenge. Only remember this, James Mace says. To seek justice is a good and noble thing. To seek revenge out of hatred is something that will devour your very soul. There are times when it is not only your right, but also your duty to seek justice. But that pursuit does not require of you to become a hateful or vengeful person. You can forgive and seek justice too. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear." Yet, he was a man whose whole life was committed to justice. Forgiveness means that pain is a part of your story, but pain is not the most important part. It's a chapter in your book, but not the whole story. Forgiving your offender allows you to author a new ending. Forgiveness removes pain from center stage in your life. Forgiveness means allowing God to redeem your pain. One great scripture talks about receiving a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. Isaiah 61:3. Many can personally testify to the truth that God redeems pain. And forgiveness means healing and freedom for you. Your offender may be dead, gone, or in denial, but your healing isn't dependent on them or what they do. Something important changes in you when you forgive. Forgiveness is a gift that you give yourself. It sets a wounded heart free. Set your wounded heart free and choose to forgive.